Hey everyone, hi. I'm so happy you all are joining in. And as you all can see, we are in a different setup, and I have a guest speaker right with us for the first time in JC Talks. I am getting to do this face to face because he's my husband. And great. I'm so happy we got to do this. And as you're joining in, let us know where you're watching from. And also make sure you share this link with your family and your friends. We're going to talk a lot more about kindness, on how you can initiate in giving out to people. I'm quite excited to hear some, thoughtful words from Pastor Sam with us today. So as you are joining in, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce my very own homie, Pastor Sam, and the initiator, the founder of Kalanjiyam, the food bank, which is located in Trichy. So furthermore, he is the pastor, the lead pastor of King City Church, and he's also a big inspiration to a lot of young people in this city. So let's go ahead.
I'm also husband to Jemmy and father to my amazing daughter Zion.
I was waiting for you to say that. Great. So great. So we're going to be asking some questions about Kalanjiyam Food Bank, on I know how it started, a lot more details about, because a few of you follow Kalanjiyam Food Bank and you only see pictures and you do support us, but I think it'll be great for you to hear about on how it started, how this name came together. It's going to be quite interesting, so stay with us throughout this chat. And also, if you have any doubts, or if you want to share your thoughts, go ahead, put it down in the comments below. We will get back to you very soon over that. All right. So Pastor Sam, because you are involved, you initiated this food bank. There's a kitchen dedicated just for that, and you also volunteer in that, and you also go and oversee things and all that. My first question for you is, what are the ingredients to make lemon rice?
It's very simple. A lot of lemon, rice. That's it.
Wow. Don't try that recipe at all, guys.
I don't cook.
There you
Lemon
go.
and rice.
Well, there's a lot more that goes in it. Okay, that was a good start. Okay, yes, he's the one who found the food bank. Great, but we have a committed people who cook and volunteers.
And we are glad about that.
Right. All right, so Pastor Sam, please tell us a little about Kalanjiyam Food Bank, about what it is all about.
So when we planted the church, King City Church, right along with the church, we also started the foundation called the Kingdom Foundation. And we did not want to sort of wait for people to join. We wanted to start serving God and serve the city at the same time. Because it was part of our mission that we don't just reach people for them to turn to God. Of course, that's our first mission, but also to serve the city and the needs of the city. Because if God has put us in this city, the dream is that, to say it in one line, we don't want people to look for help beyond our church. And that is not sort of in a prideful way. Basically, they can, confidently say that there is hope for my life because this church exists in this city. That even homeless people from other cities would move in because we take care of these guys really well. Like that sort of dream. That sort of thing, that their life is transformed. They don't remain homeless, but their life will be transformed and they move forward in life. So that's where all this thought came from, and everything started. So we made sure that, we were serving God and serving the city, and we were doing that together from the beginning.
So Pastor Sam, my next question to you is, how did this whole thing started? When did you get this first thought on giving out food, to be specific about it? What caught your attention to see that this city needs this special need and I can cater to it? So when did that happen? Was there an incident or a circumstance which struck your heart and that you felt like, well, this is what I'm going to do? So was there a moment like that?
I think we have all sort of faced moments of hunger. And to me, I have faced hunger in my life at certain points when I thought that if there was just one person who would just walk in with a nice meal, that would be amazing. And that thought stuck in my head. Of course, God blessed me, we moved on. But then I didn't want that thought to be just forgotten. And I told myself, I'm sure there's many other people who are out there with the same thought. And we wanted to be that person. I wanted to be that person. I wanted you to be that person. I want Zion, our daughter, to be that person. And I want that to be our family culture, our church culture, and the culture of the foundation. So based on that, what happened is that with Kingdom Foundation, the first project, because Kingdom Foundation does a lot of projects, and one of the first projects that we want to start is the food bank. And I think it was one of a kind for Trichy. And Kalanjiyam came about through the food bank. So we actually started small. We didn't know how to go about this. So we were just asking people to bring in rice bags and you know, all the dry ration and vegetables and fruits. Every Sunday, we have seen people walk in with rice bags to church, and they'll just drop it at the desk. You know, there'll be soaps and different things. And we just started putting them together in a room. We did not have administration structure, people. We just had a heart to serve people. But slowly, God started, you know, adding people to this vision, and we were able to do it in a much more structured way. And to go on a little bit more, if I may, that during this year, I think for 2020, Kalanjiyam has done a lot more than we had ever imagined or planned, because for 2020, we did not plan for a hot meal kitchen, but because of COVID-19, thanks to you, Corona, we quickly, like in a week's time, we quickly set up a kitchen, dedicated hot meal kitchen, and started, you know, just with what we had, we just started. And we kept on doing that every month. We looked at the beneficiaries, the homeless, blind people, lepers, and gypsies, and we went to these camps because of Corona. They were all affected, and hunger really, you know, it hits people really hard, and not just adults, especially children, because children suffer the most because of poverty and hunger. So we wanted to stop that. We wanted to stop hunger here in Trichy, and so Kalanjiyam, you know, started doing this, and I have to say we have served more than 7,000 hot meals, which was not in our agenda, but I think God had it in His agenda, and we just served the need of the hour, and we kept doing it faithfully, and a lot of sponsors started working hard and supported us, and I have to say, Jacqueline, who leads our project, she did her very best in putting all together. So that's the main thing that we've been doing this year. And we've got a lot more plans, but God will help us.
Yes, He will definitely. And it's so amazing to see and to remember how Kalanjiyam literally started. Literally, people will walk in with a pack of rice. You know, it started within the church, and then it was like a kitchen that was set to, and dedicated just to cook hot meals. So thanks for sharing that, Pastor Sam. It's actually very beautiful to remember on how this started. Literally, people would walk in with some dal and rice in their hands and just give it out. It did start very small, right? And then we never know that God will actually elevate this project like this. Another thing is the name of this project is very interesting, Kalanjiyam. When he first said that word to us, we were like, we can't even pronounce it right. How do we pronounce it, you know? But it's a very, very interesting name. So, Pastor, why this name Kalanjiyam, and what's the idea and vision behind that?
I love the character Joseph in the Bible, and how, you know, God used him at the time of a famine. And I think that wisdom is needed for all of us, that if we can all be good stewards of our resources, we can actually eradicate poverty. You know, the reason people are hungry and starving and all that, and you know, we can do something about it. Somebody once said, if the queen can sell all of her shoes, half of the world's poverty can be taken care of. So it's not just for the Queen. I think it goes for all of us that we all have so much. God has blessed us so much, but the resources have to be managed. And what we learn from Joseph's story is that he managed the resource on time, and he saved up for the days of famine. That when famine hit, the Bible says that he opened the storehouse, and the amount of grain was like equal to the sand on a beach. So much of wealth and food was stored, and that's because of the wisdom and the well managed resources of Joseph. And I love the word in Tamil. It says avan kalanjiyangalai thirandu. So storehouse in Tamil Bible is kalanjiyangal. So we wanted to be that storehouse. We wanted Kingdom Foundation to have a storehouse that gives resources, not just food. Probably in the future we'll be doing a lot more through Kalanjiyam. So that's where the name Kalanjiyam came from.
That's a very interesting thought, wasn't it? Amazing. Now, to also let our viewers know, today, Pastor Sam, you're a representative of many more churches and the pastors who are doing, social works out there, because there are many churches and, they're also actively doing their works to the society. And as a representative, I want you to answer the next question. Why should a church be so active doing social work? Why should a church reach out to people outside? Because when you say church, it's all about people coming in, praying, worshiping, doing their stuff, and then going back. It's all about the connection, relationship with God. But why do you think it is important for a church to be very active in doing social work as well?
I think I would go far back, not just to start with church, but far back to say that it's a commitment of every follower of Christ. If feeding the poor and feeding the hunger and clothing the poor has to be a culture for us. You don't have to wait for the church to take an initiative. You take an initiative from your home. Let's take an initiative in our family, just on a Sunday. Let's just go for a drive and give out food to people. We don't have to wait for an organization or a church to do that. And as we are all part of the church, as we are the church, that makes it even more important, because when we come together, put our resources together in unity towards a big purpose, then we can do a lot more. And I'm proud to say that Christians have actually contribute more than 70 to 80% to NGOs and charities all across the world. And in fact, Christians have taken up and pioneered a lot of charity movements and NGOs all across the world. The reason being, Christ has modeled that to us. He always fed the poor. When he was preaching, he saw them hungry, and the miracle of the 5,000, we saw that let us give them something.
There was food always there, right?
There was always food, and he said, let us give them something. Of course, he gave the word, he preached about the kingdom, but he also, looked after their physical need. And I think as a church, that's what we need to always keep our eyes open, not just for the people who come to church, but also beyond the walls of our church, and always say that in our mind and in our hearts, let us give them something. And that keeps beating in my heart. Can I give somebody something? Can I bless somebody something? All the time. And I don't consciously try to think about it. It just has become a nature. And I think that we should make that as a nature, as a personality, as a character of ourselves, because that's what Jesus modeled for us.
Amazing. It's really inspiring on how, you connect everything towards Bible, Jesus, That's really beautiful. And I believe that every churches out there and every pastors who are doing social work would also, say the same or feel the same. And my next question to you is, you're a pastor and you have a family and you have other commitments out there and all that. But at the same time, we have seen him also volunteer volunteer in Kalanjiyam. Every Saturdays we send out food, and you're also there. So in that busyness, because next day is Sunday, obviously in weekends are quite busy for churches because they have to get ready. But even in those busyness, you make time to go be there, help them in distributing food. Why is this personally important for you? Why is this so special to your heart that you go there, be there, and do it yourself as well?
I just love it. There's nothing more that I would love to do on a Saturday morning to just be part of it all. Of course, we have an amazing team and led by Jackin, and she takes care of it all. And I don't have to turn up to oversee things. She does a phenomenal job. But I just want to be part of that. So one side of it is just to be part of everything that is happening and just to serve. And also the other side to see what people are going through and to connect with the homeless people out there and the blinds and the lepers and just hear them out. Because I think beyond food, they also need a human touch. They need somebody to listen to them, somebody to hear them, somebody to even put an arm around them and say, like, we are here for you. Or just crack a joke with them and make them smile for that moment. So I'm just, you know me, I'm a people's person. So wherever there's people, I'm there. So I'm more connected to the people that way. So I would love to always serve. So I schedule my week that way and try to make it as possible, be there as much as possible. So yeah, I love it.
Nice. So, connecting to my next question, you said like you being there, also helping them, crack a joke with them, talk to them, and all that. I want to know which are the other ways that you can express kindness, because in JC Talks we're talking about kindness on, this why we're doing the series as well. Which are the other ways, and how do you think this kindness can really, affect their life, in a nice way? How do you think kindness has a big role to play?
And I think if we can give it back the way we received it, that's the most powerful thing to do. I'm sure most of you would have seen this video of Pay It Forward, where one person helps another person, but you don't have to pay them back, but you pay it forward. So if I received a meal in one of my most, low times of my life, or a help or an act of kindness that somebody did, it is my responsibility now to pay that forward, to give that forward in every way possible. And I think intentionally and consciously I should do that every day, so that even a small act of kindness, it could be even random, but that is going to make a difference in somebody's life, put a smile, it's totally worth it. And it doesn't, what I have learned, it doesn't actually cost me anything. People think that I should have a lot of money to help others. And I've heard people say, if only I had more, I would do more. You would actually not. If you only had more, you would spend more. In fact, you can help people from nothing. You don't need to have money. You don't need to have a lot of things. If you can just offer yourself, because what you need in order to give kindness is money doesn't represent kindness. Stuff doesn't represent kindness. Food that we give actually doesn't represent kindness. The face behind that, like I represent kindness. The emotion comes from me.
Right.
Right? The stuff is in the front, but actually beyond the stuff, the emotion, the act of kindness comes from me. So my availability is a lot more important than the money or the stuff that we give.
Right.
So if you want to be kind, offer yourself first.
Wow.
Just stop by to a beggar. Even if you don't have money, just stop by, talk to that person. How are you? What is going on? And you will have knowledge or wisdom that you could be smart in finding resources for that person. So it always starts with me. That's what I believe. And if I'm not available to be kind to others, my wallet won't be available.
Right.
My home won't be available. Nothing of me will be available if I'm not available to be kind. So it always starts with me.
Wow. That was a simple answer, but very deep and strong. It's not your stuff or the money, but commit to yourself, just giving yourself to show kindness. Thank you so much for that. That was like really deep, amazing. So there's an important question that I wanted to ask you, Pastor Sam. What is an impact that you have done towards your young people through starting projects like this? Because the Kalanjiyam, it does not just have staff who work, but it has volunteers, young people, families. They come forward, they volunteer, they give in their time, and they do this. So how has this impacted your church people, their mindset? And at the same time, how has it impacted the society? This work of kindness, obviously, being the leader, what you do and what you initiate always has an effect of people that you lead, the church that you lead. So let us know how it has impacted the congregation and also our society outside.
When I was a student, of course, students don't have a lot of money, and it's not always easy. But I volunteered in a homeless shelter during the weekends, and it brought perspective. Perspective is that I could be so, swamped by the fact that I don't have enough, or it's a challenging week, or, all those things. And then I go to this soup kitchen where we just served a cup of soup for the homeless people in that homeless shelter. And that one cup of soup brought many conversations that I've had, how they ended up homeless, what happened in their life, what's their background. I've met some people who have been in pretty decent job, in fact doing really well in life, but they ended up homeless because of things that happened to them which they are not even responsible for. And all those conversations just added perspective to my life. And I think when we set up this Kalanjiyam, I wanted that experience for our young people as well, that when they come and serve through this project, and when they meet these people, that they could also have a perspective in life that actually life is not as bad as you think it's going on, because things could be worse. And from the beneficiary point of view, they see these young people coming and serving them. Sometimes they see them as their own son. Sometimes they see them as their own daughter. I remember once we went to this aged people's home for, I think, Christmas or sometime, and our young people went and gave gifts and served them, and their own daughters and sons did not come to see them. And when these young people walked in, it was like as if their own children came. They sat down, they spoke with them, they sang with them, some cried with them, some laughed with them. We wanted that to happen, and it added so much experiential value for our young people. And I think it changed their perspective, and they kept coming, they keep volunteering, and they keep doing it. We don't even have to push them to do it, they keep doing it. So it's amazing to see that.
Right, it's so true. Like, if we take a pause anytime, we have our young people come and ask, aren't we doing anything? Shall we start doing something for the people out there? And we have seen people tear up when they start serving and all that. And also, I think whatever you said is such an example where anything that you decide and do, it's just not you doing it, but you're impacting and influencing the next generation, right? So it's amazing you do that. Now, I think there's also an important question, because it's not as easy as it sounds, right? Yes, we have volunteers, yes, we're giving out foods, but definitely every work that you set out has challenges. So what are your challenges, and what is the challenge that Kalanjiyam faces in doing this work?
In an individual perspective, I would say if a lot more people caught this vision, if a lot more people gets the heart behind it, I think we could do things in a much more faster way. I don't see money as a challenge, because, like I said, kindness starts from a person. So we need the hearts of people in this. So if people can tap into the vision, tap into the heart behind why we do what we do, I think things can move a lot more faster, because the need is big. When we go there, right now, what we are doing is rescue. We are not preventing anything. And one thing that I believe that Church is really good in rescuing people from whatever that they're stuck in, but we need to focus a little bit more on the prevention, coming up with innovative ideas that if I can help a teenager or a person who's going to end up in jail, prevent them before they get to the jail. And if we can have solutions like that for the society, have innovative
Right.
ideas that before they become jobless, that they have some skills, that they could self-employ themselves, things like that.
Right.
So we want to move into the prevention side
Yeah.
of things and not just be with rescue. Of course, I believe in the rescuing. That's why we constantly feed people, help people. But how can we make this more sustainable? How can we help them to change their mindset that they are not just always receiving, but they also move forward with their own strength and hard work and ideas and jobs. So the need is big,
Right.
and we want to do a lot more.
Right.
In fact, one of my dream projects is Adopt a Village project, where
Right.
we create a village in such a way that they kind of grow themselves through their own skills, and we make platforms, we help them to see that they can achieve what others are able to do, that caste system cannot stop them,
Right.
that the background cannot stop them. If they believe, if they put hard work, and if they get the right help and support, that they can
Right.
also come up in life. So that's again a dream project. So for all of this to happen, we should all tap into this heart of kindness and into the vision. And the moment we tap in, everything, all the resources, I believe, will flow into it. So that's the challenge, is to get people aware of that and to understand that.
Brilliant, brilliant, amazing. It's just the mindset, and we need people to believe in the vision and to pitch in. We have people who've sponsored very less, people who sponsor huge. It's not a matter of that, but people coming forward and understanding the vision, right? Amazing. And I'm gonna ask our viewers. You've heard the whole chat now. The details about how you can support Kalanjiyam will be displayed, and I think it has been displayed already. So go ahead if you feel like this project is amazing, and even you want to be part of it. You can just take your phone, contribute straight away, or just write to us on how you want to support this project. And as you're doing, or as you're thinking of doing it, I'm going to ask one last question to Pastor Sam. So what is your final advice to people who are thinking of initiating something like this? Obviously, people who are watching us online, you might have different thoughts. You might have that heart to help people as you go across people in need. You might have the thought, but at the same time, you have fear. They might have fear. They might have doubts. So what's your final advice to people watching you?
For those of you who are thinking about making a difference in the society, don't worry about the details, plans, strategies. Of course, all those things are important. It all starts with you. So if you can have the right vision, right intention, the resources, everything will follow and will fall into place. So don't be scared about anything else. It is time to make your move and do it quick. Do it quick. The need is there. Don't wait for anything else. You are the only person who can pay it forward. So please make sure that you can just start small, whatever that you have, just go ahead and start.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start. Don't
Just
let your...
just put your foot into the water. Just start and you'll see it.
There you go, guys. That's all it is. And I want to thank you, Pastor Sam, for taking this time to share about your vision and how Kalanjiyam operates, and also a big applaud to you and your team for doing this amazing work. I have been part of some of the distribution of the food, and to see people's eyes, they are so happy. They all know us. When we go, they're like, they are here. Okay, the food is ready, kind of thing.
And you are
So-
also equally involved. I mean, she's a mother of a 2-year-old, but she makes time at least 2 Saturdays in a month to be there. And we take turns to look after our daughter. So
Right.
she's equally involved in this.
Yeah, there are mothers and there are family people doing this work, and it's beautiful when people receive that food from us and we can see the joy and happiness in the eyes. So a big applaud to Kalanjiyam team, I would say. And also, viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm very happy that you joined us for the first interview from Mr. Ottaraja and Pastor Olson, and now Pastor Sam Ellis with us. And hope you have made up your mind to sponsor and to donate and meet their needs in this special season. If not, we will again display the bank details of all these foundation at the end of this chat, and you can go ahead do that. And if you want to sponsor Kalanjiyam, you can do that as well. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Christmas. We want to wish you a happy Christmas from our family to yours. God bless you all.
God bless
See you
all.
next time.
Thank you. Thank you.